Hey guys, back again. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna go into math now. Our assignment should be posted by 1 p.m. this week, every day, and then by next week I should have them up and rolling by 8 o'clock. But I will try to put a YouTube video every single time so that you guys can learn along with me. It will be accompanied by a PowerPoint, so just get used to that and get ready for it, okay? So what we're going to do is go into our classes again, and we're gonna go under classes and look at what's due. So let me show you. So if I'm in classes, right, I'm gonna click on what's due. And once I click on what's due, you should see the assignment that's titled Chapter 4, Lesson 1. Right here is gonna be the link for the YouTube video that I'm making right now. So of course it's not gonna be up there, but you're gonna follow along and take notes. So please make sure you get your big books out and you have notebook paper and a pencil. If you want a marker, obviously I'm not going to see, but it's better to work with pencil in general. Remember to keep your notes because you will be using them for your quizzes and your tests, so please don't get rid of any notes that you take. And don't stress out if you're not doing the work or you don't think you're getting it. We're going to work through this, okay? It's going to take a lot of work and effort on both of our sides, so just bear in there with me. Once you complete your math assignment that I'll give you later, once you've completed it in your book, you're just going to put your book down. Whoops, that's the answer key. You're going to put your book down to, or you're going to put your iPad or your phone or whatever you're taking the picture on. Take a quick snapshot of what you did, and then you would send it to me, okay? So that's all you have to do for this one. Please continue as your homework. Right now, I'm not going to give you anything from your practice books yet, but you will get stuff. It is due tomorrow. It's not due at 8 a.m. It will be due at 1 p.m. just to give you guys some stretch time there. Okay, so please make sure, though, for homework, you're practicing your division and your multiplication flashcards in addition to doing the assignments that I give you. You should be a pro at this by the end of the time, by the time we get back to school. Okay, the division and the flashcard. The division flashcards is what I mean. All right, so let's go and move on with the lesson. So if you look at your Gmail account, okay, we will go into Gmail. You should see that a document has been sent to you that says Chapter 4, Lesson 1. You would click on that. Okay, and you can go down to where it says Open in Slides. And then once you open in Slides, it should look like this. Okay. This is the title of the lesson that we're learning today. So on your notes, you might want to title it off this way. Please be sure to know that you may pause this video at any time. You don't have to watch the video the full way through. You can pause it. You can get whatever supplies you need. You can take notes. If I'm going too quick, stop it, rewind, make sure that you're going at your speed. I'm trying to do it quickly so that I don't go over time because they cut me off at 30 minutes. Next one. So let's look at your next slide, which is vocabulary. This is a review of vocabulary that we've had from chapters past. So first things first, a factor. Factor, you should already know, but it's a number multiplied by another number, right? And the product, which is the answer to those two numbers multiplied by each other, is called the product. Okay, that's the answer. So let me show you how that works. We're going to review that one more time. Okay, if I have 7, right, times 8 equals 56. Good? So these two guys, both of these guys, are factors. And this is your product, right? Your product is the answer. Okay, next. So the next one on that list of definitions is multiples. You should already know what multiples are, but we will go over them one more time. So multiples are the products of one specific number. So for instance, you love your 5s probably. Most of you guys love doing your 5s. So 5s, give me the list of 5s. 5 times 1 is 5. 10. 15, right? 20, and then so on. So all these right here that I'm underlining, all 4 of those are multiples of 5. That is the list of numbers that you get when you multiply other numbers by it. So 5 times 1 is 5. 5 times 2 is 10. 5 times 3, 15. 4, 20. So whenever somebody asks you to list multiples, that's what you are looking for. You're going to need to remember this because division, you have to remember the multiples of different numbers. Just have to. And if you don't, it would be wise to list them out before you answer questions on that. Okay, now we're going to get into the next 3 terms. The next 3 terms are going to be the following. I'm going to type these out for you. Okay, quotient, divisor, and dividend. Okay, now what are those, right? Super easy. You probably already seen them before. You just didn't even know what they were called. So you have a problem. You'll be given 2 different formats. Format 1. Okay, format 1 will look like this. It will say 20 divided by 5 is equal to 4. Okay, so this number, this number is what you call, it was annoying me with that light. This number is what you call the dividend. This number right here, divisor. Okay, and quotient. So this is our answer to a division problem. So quotient is always the answer to a division problem. The divisor is always the number that will divide into this one. Okay, and your dividend is the one getting broken up. So you can imagine it like a pizza and a slicing it all up, right? It is being divided. So that's one format. Format 2 is going to be this. So you normally have something outside of the box. I always like to say outside of the box, something inside of the box, and something on top of the box, okay? You can also think of it as a house. There's many different ways you can think of it as. So if you forget, so the top of the house is going to be your roof, which is the quotient or the answer. Okay, that's the one you want, right? You need a roof on your house. So you want the answer to your problem. The next one is going to be dividend, which is the one that stays inside the house, right? He needs the roof over his head, but he also is getting divided up. And divisor. So this guy is telling this guy how much we're going to split him up into. Okay, so remember all of those 3 different rules there. All right, now, next. We're going to go back to listing multiples. So I want you to practice these on your notes. Write down practice listing multiples, and then I want you to practice listing these. Okay, 5s. So continue the list. And then have mom or dad check them. Okay, so 5s, 6s, and 10s. See if you can complete the list. You should be able to without looking at flashcards, without looking at anything else. If not, like I said, you guys need to continue to work on your multiplication flashcards. That's going to be key in doing well in division. Okay, your next option, or your next slide, so we're going to go down to slide 4 now, okay, and click on that one, is practice using multiples to find the estimate. So your book is going to ask you to do this. Find 2 numbers the quotient is in between. Then estimate the quotient. Find 2 numbers the quotient, so the answer is in between. Then estimate the quotient. What does it mean? How do you do that? Super easy, guys. Okay, so watch. So if you have, let's try this, 50, right? I want you to write this down, divided by 6. Okay, we're going to make a chart that looks like this. So you're going to have, I'm going to make a really long chart. See how long my chart is? Okay, but you're going to write a lot smaller. And this guy right here is what we need to make multiples. We need to list the multiples of. Okay, so let's see. 6. What are the multiples of 6? Well, 6 times 1 is 6, right? 6 times, now we're going to 6 times 2. So see how I'm graphing them? Is 12. 6 times 3 is 4. 6 times 5, or 4, excuse me. Wow, I went too quick on that one. I was thinking 4. Okay, 6 times 3, back again, is 18. 6 times 4 is 24. 6 times 5, 30. If you're getting these, good job. 6 times 6, 36. 6 times 7, 42. 6 times 8, 48. 6 times 9, 54. 6 times 10, and to squeeze that one in there is 60. Okay, so here are all my multiples. Once again, feel free to pause and write all of this down. I know I write very quickly, but like I said, I only have a certain amount of time. All right, now, what do we do here? So we want to find, once again, I'm taking you back to the question that they're going to ask you. Find the two numbers the quotient is in between. Quotient, remember that's the answer. So we need to find out any guy from this list is going to be the answer. One of these guys is going to be the answer. Okay, the top row here, not the bottom row. The bottom row is our multiples. Okay, the top row would be our answers here. Okay, so let's see. 6 divides into 50 in between, somewhere in between here, right? So let's find the two numbers that's in between, which would be right here between 8 and 9. Right? 50 falls in between here, between 48 and 54. Okay, so what we're going to do is your answer would be written between 8 and 9, right? Because 6 times 8 gives me 48, which is close, but it's not 50. And 6 times 9 gives me 54, which is close, but it's not 50. It's above, right? So we're going to put the two numbers that's in between 8 and 9. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to need to estimate. So all you're going to do is you're going to say, okay, then estimate the quotient. So which one is closest to 50? Is it 48 or 54? Which number is closest to 50, 48 or 54? If you said 48, that's correct. So what's the number we multiply 6 times? 6 times what gives me 48? If you said 8, you're right. Okay, so we would write about 8. Okay, so our answer would look like this. So in the lines that they give you, it would say between 8 and 9 and about 8. And if this is confusing, hang in there. Just take your notes and we'll try it again, okay? So take all those notes that I just said. Back up a little bit. Okay, let's try it again. So if you have a whiteboard at home, probably cool to use that. If you have an iPad or something and you need that, please do so. Okay, let's try it again. So let's see, we have 35 divided by 4. Okay, 35 divided by 4. So once again, we want to find the two numbers that the quotient is in between. So the answer will be in between two different numbers. Okay, so let's first, we got to list the multiples of 4. It's just like we did on the last one. We're listing the multiplies by this guy right here. Okay, so 6 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you make your whole list again. 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, now we're going to fill that in. 4 times 1 is 4. 4 times 2, 8. 4 times 3, 12. 4 times 4 is 16. 4 times 5, 20. 4 times 6, 24. 4 times 7, 28. 4 times 8, 32. And 4 times 9 is 36. Okay, now what two numbers does this fall in between? Okay, what two numbers does this fall in between? 4 can go into 35 how many times without going too far above? So we need to find out where it goes between, okay? So between 32 and 36, right? 35 is between 32 and 36. So it falls between these two numbers, 8 and 9. So all we're going to put is between 8 and 9. That's going to be our answer for the first part, and then you need to put about. So which one is 35 closest to? Is it closest to 36 or 32? If you said 36, you're right. So it would be 9. About 9 is your answer. So this is all that you're doing for the assignment. If your mom and dad want to try you on a couple more, I know my time's going to run out on this YouTube thing, but hopefully mom and dad can see what they're doing there. And if they have questions, parents feel free to ask questions either through Dojo or Edmodo, or even by email. That's fine too. I will try to get back to you as soon as I can. So this one right here, it's basically, what does that mean? This is going to be your, sorry, I just dropped my phone. So what does that mean? This is all that it's asking you, okay? You find the two numbers it's in between, and then you estimate the quotient. So just what we did right here, where we did the between 8 and 9 and about 9. Okay, now let's look at the last part, which is going to be your assignment. So on the PowerPoints, I'm going to click on, and your assignment will be up here. Please don't do anything to this one until I do this. Okay, so find two numbers the quotient is in between, then estimate the quotient. So this is what you have to do for your assignment. So I'm going to change this, and we're just going to write assignment there. Okay, this will actually say assignment when you see it. Okay, in your big book, not your practice book, go to page 145, work on numbers 2 through 12, and all your answers need to be in this format: between blank and about blank. So just what we did on practice, right there in your book, okay? If you can send this by 8 a.m., that would be great, just so I can go over your answers and see if there's anything I need to change in the next lesson. Don't stress about getting the answer right. If you get it incorrect, no big deal. You're trying your best, and so are your parents. So literally, I can just tell you on a parent level, I would much rather you like enjoy a little bit of time with your parents and have some fun with maybe like a board game or something. But I do want you to be able to learn, and I know that this is a big part of your learning experience is to learn math. So please try to get this in by 8 a.m. tomorrow. But once again, don't try to get everything right. If something's wrong, don't argue with your parents. Let's do all we can to try to get this done. And we can freshen up on questions. If you do have questions, text them to me or put them on the board, post them so that then everybody can see them. This is what your assignment looks like tonight. So it's find two numbers. The quotient is in between, just with the directions, what I went over, and then evaluate or estimate the quotient, excuse me. So numbers 2 all the way through 12, you do the same thing that we just did on the practice problems. Okay, and like I said, if you weren't getting it in the beginning, have mom and dad go over a couple more. Okay, for these ones right here that are a little bit higher, we'll see how you do on this one. And then if I need to, I can review what you did wrong. but you might have to list higher than 12 on these. Okay, so you would have to go up to like maybe 20. So instead of stopping at 9 here, you would keep listing all the way up to 20 on that one. So until you can find something in between. But don't stress out. Don't worry about this section down here. I don't want you to do that. That's too much, and I just want you to focus on the directions that they ask here. Okay? Have a good evening, guys, and we will talk to you tomorrow. Bye.